Kazakh citizens mourn for those killed during the riots in the country. As a result, January 10th was declared a National Day of Mourning. The state flag is lowered to half-staff on all buildings of state institutions and local self-government bodies. The broadcast of all entertainment programs on TV channels is suspended for 1 day. Residents of Nur-Sultan extend condolences to their compatriots who have lost their family members as a result of the tragic events in the country. This terrorist act shouldn't be repeated, they say. Of course, the events that have taken place in recent days are a great tragedy for the people of Kazakhstan. We want peace in the country because we all have children and grandchildren. We do not want anyone to die. Let the situation in the country stabilize. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev is doing everything possible for this, thanks to our president.
Сегодня день траура, что общенациональный траур. Я очень соболезную всем пострадавшим, погибшим.
Today is the National Mourning Day. I mourn all those who died. It is a dark day for all of Kazakhstan. I support those who are fighting this terrorist threat. Mentally, I'm with them.
С этой террористической угрозой я мысленно с ними поддерживаю их.
Конечно, очень тяжело.
Of course, it's very hard to lose a loved one. I feel sorry for everyone. Thanks to all our police officers and medical staff. Thank you for your help during this period.
Всем спасибо большое. Вот в такой период сейчас.
A curfew has been imposed in Kazakhstan for the duration of the state of emergency. It is in effect from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. in most regions of the country. It will last until January 19th. This means that the movement of citizens in the streets is prohibited. President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev posthumously awarded 60 militaries and police officers for courage and dedication in the performance of military and official duties, as well as for heroic deeds in protecting the interests of the state. Dastan Adilbay, Darkhan Barganayev, Jandol Jalgabayev, Andrei Kabdinov, Rahat Slanbekov received the Order of Aybin, 2nd class. Jaik Adilkhan, Nurbolson Almasov, Aybat Amanov, Alena Sılkhanov, Mirkhan Bitim, Yerbol Yerzhanov, Daulet Zhuparbekov, Rinat Kambetov, Madyar Kaysarov, Kabdullah Smailkhanov received the Order of Aybin, 3rd class. Adil Nurkenov received the Medal for Military Valor. In memory of the killed soldiers and civilians, our compatriots around the world express their condolences and lay flowers at the buildings of the embassies. Representatives of the Kazakh diaspora in Kyiv also express their support.
Киевке енді бірінші жылдан бері тұрып келе жатырмыз. Бізде осы жақта осындай соғыстарда болды.
We have been living in Kyiv for several years. We have witnessed such fighting. The Kazakhs living here assure us that together we're strong. Cohesion is very important for the enemy to retreat. We keep in touch, helping each other, helping our compatriots who can't fly away with food and housing.
Ұша алмай жатқан қандастарымызға көмектесіп, тамақтарымен, тұратын жерлерімен, мына елшілігімізде біраз көмек жасап жатыр.
In connection with the mourning, Kazakhstan's flag was lowered over the buildings of the embassy in Turkey and the general consulates in Istanbul and Antalya. Local residents and our compatriots gathered near the representative office of Kazakhstan to express words of support.
Қазақстанда мемлекеттік төңкерістің орын алуына тойтарыс берілді. Террористердің мақсаты елорда мен Ақорданы басып алу болған. Ұжымдық қауіпсіздік шарт ұйымы ұжымдық қауіпсіздік кеңесінің кезектен тыс сессиясында ел президенті Kassym-Jomart Tokayev осылай деп мәлімдеді. Ол бұл ұйымның күші толығымен іске қосылған алғашқы жағдай екенін атап өтті. Бітімгерлер келгеннен кейін қылмыскерлер президент резиденциясын басып алу жоспарынан бас тартқан. Жалпы мемлекет басшысы қаңтар айындағы оқиғаны Алматы мен 9 облыс орталығын қамтыған нағыз террористік соғыс деп атады. Елдегі бейбіт митингтердің астында радикалдар, бандиттер мен тонаушылар қатысқан тәртіпсіздіктер орын алды. Kassym-Jomart Tokaевтың бастамасымен өткен онлайн форматтағы сессиялар 1 минуттық үнсіздіктен кейін ашылды. Мемлекет басшысы ұжымдық қауіпсіздік шарт ұйымына қатысушы мемлекеттердің басшыларына дер кезінде қол ұшын созып қолдау көрсеткен үшін алғыс білдірді.
Алматы қаласында қаңтардың 4 мен 8 аралығында террорлық актіге қатысқан 2 экстремистік топ жойылды. Бұл туралы ұлттық қауіпсіздік комитетінің баспасөз қызметі хабарлады. 9 қаңтарда экстремистік әрекетке алдап арбау, экстремистік ұйымға басшылық ету және оған қатысу, сондай-ақ жаппай құқыққа қайшы акцияларды жүргізу күдігімен бір ұяшықтың 4 мүшесі ұсталды. Күдіктілердің тұрақтылықты мекендерін тексеру барысында атылатын қару, дыбыс шарық гранаталар, оқ-дәрілер және діни әдебиеттер мен өзге де заттар айғақ ретінде тәркіленді деп хабарлайды Ұлттық қауіпсіздік комитеті. Ұйым жетекшісі халықаралық террористік ұйыммен байланысы бар. Жаппай тәртіпсіздікке белсенді аталысқан шетел азаматы екен анықталған. Тергеу тұжырымы бойынша ол Қазақстанға жаппай құқыққа қайшы акцияларды дайындап, сондай-ақ билік органдар мен қарулы құрылымдарға шабуыл жасау үшін келген. Қазір оның сыбайластары іздестіріліп жатыр.
The common goal of the terrorist attacks in Kazakhstan was destabilization of the situation, which would lead to a coup and seizure of power, Secretary of State Karin reported. He noted that it was a so-called hybrid terrorist attack when groups of people simultaneously stormed different objects in several cities of the country at once. It's obvious that the general coordination of actions was ensured by internal and external destructive forces, the Secretary of State stressed.
Никак не подходит под классификацию массовых беспорядков.
Безусловно.
И я могу про эту тему говорить не только потому, что я представитель государства, да, официальное должностное лицо. Я еще могу по эту тему говорить, потому что я сам 20 лет
It does not fit the classification of mass riots. I can talk about this theme not only because I am a representative of the state, the official, but can talk since I have been dealing with terrorism issues for 20 years. But even I, doing researches in this area, can barely recall that few groups could attack cities, purposefully trying to seize communication facilities, buildings of law enforcement agencies and others. It is indeed a new phenomenon, which is a challenge not only for the security services, but also for both experts and specialists. We need to realize that we have entered a new period when such a rather cynical scenario can be incited against any other country.
Нам необходимо понять, что мы вступили в определенный новый период, когда против любой другой страны может быть развязан такой вот достаточно циничный сценарий.
A number of foreign media outlets spread superficial and one-sided information about the situation in Kazakhstan. This statement was published on the official website of the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The armed forces and law enforcement agencies of Kazakhstan are confronting terrorists, not peaceful protesters, the department emphasized. The Kazakh Foreign Ministry also highlighted that combat actions against extremist groups are conducted not by the CSTO peacekeepers, but by Kazakh military personnel. The CSTO peacekeeping forces will stay in Kazakhstan on a temporary basis and will leave the country as soon as the situation stabilizes at the first request of the Kazakh side. The epidemiological situation is worsening in the country due to the raging strains Omicron and Delta. This was reported in the Interdepartmental Commission on the Spread of COVID-19. At the same time, according to experts, the Delta variant of the coronavirus remains dominant. It accounts for more than 70% of detected cases of infection. In the last 24 hours, 2,087 infected with the deadly virus were detected in the country's regions. More than half of the cases were recorded in the capital of the country, as well as 123 in the city of Shymkent. Almaty closes the top 3 with 93 patients. The Omicron variant of COVID-19 is rapidly spreading throughout the world. In particular, in the UK, this strain has caused a sharp increase in cases. 170,000 new positive cases of infection were detected there in the past 24 hours alone. Because of this, the hospitals of the capital are facing an acute shortage of beds and medical staff. Patients have to wait for doctors' help right in the ambulances.
Yesterday was very busy. 42 people waiting for beds in A&E, waiting for beds in the morning, which means people like poor Raymond here get stuck outside, and then we're having to treat people in the ambulance.
The epidemic is rapidly progressing in Australia as well. The country's most populous Australian state, New South Wales, has recently reported more than 30,000 COVID-19 cases and 16 deaths. This is the highest number recorded since the onset of the pandemic.
It's a very difficult day for our state. Over the last 24 hours, we've had 16 people who have died from the virus. If you haven't received that first dose vaccination, please go and get vaccinated. The numbers don't lie. There is no doubt. It is very clear that vaccination is key to keeping you safe.
Experts note that the Omicron variant is causing milder symptoms than previous types of coronavirus. Omicron only affects the upper respiratory tract, which does not appear to lead to typical pneumonia. However, experts are concerned about its rapid spread, especially in countries with low vaccination rates. There is also a risk of the emergence of a super variant. A new type of coronavirus was recently discovered in Cyprus. Scientists say that it is a hybrid of Delta and Omicron strains. The new mutation is called Deltacron.